Hello. Good morning. Sorry, I could not see the correct button. So we are live. All right. So I hope everybody's doing pretty good considering the circumstances. So today's Pilates. I'm going to focus a lot on the breathing and engaging the core. So working on your inner core muscles for posture and stability. I thought posture, well, because we probably are spending a lot more time sitting than we're used to, and maybe not sitting in a nice straight chair, but sitting on the couch where we're slouching a little bit more. So we're going to try and rebalance that this morning. So you make sure, if you want to, you can have your music playing in the background, and we'll start standing. So if you can't hear me, please, if there's any issue, just if you can't hear me, of course you can't answer that. But if there's any issue, feel free to send a note in the little chat on the side there. All right. So we're going to start standing, and we're going to have our feet right under our hips. And you're going to pay attention to your posture here. So you're just going to stand like you would normally, and then you're going to take a deep breath in, and then breathe out. Then we're going to adjust our posture. So you're going to think about from your hips, and you're going to engage your core, kind of like if someone was trying to lift you up from under your arms here, just lengthening and opening up the chest a little bit. We're not going to pop it out or squeeze the shoulder blades. You just want to grow a little taller. And then take another deep breath in and breathe out, keeping your shoulders relaxed. We're going to engage the pelvic floor on the next breath. So you're going to take a deep breath in. As you're breathing out, draw the pelvic floor in. Let's do that with alternating heel lift. So you're going to breathe in. On your exhale, pelvic floor in, lifting the heel up and lower. So we go sideways so you can see better. So you're going to breathe in. Breathing out, pelvic floor in, lifting the heel up, just stretching out to your foot. You're going to do that again, one more time per side. Breathing out, pelvic floor in, lifting the heel. So if you did the core workshop, remember about picking up blueberries. So you're going to breathe out, pelvic floor in, engaging. And then I want you to release the pelvic floor. We're going to lift the knee up this time. If that's too much for you this morning, just keep alternating with your heel up and down. And exhale up and down. One more time per side. Again, you can just lift the heel up. Knee goes not higher than the hips. And last one. Perfect. We're going to work a little bit on balance. So growing a little taller again, thinking about your core, lengthening your spine. We're going to bend the knees. Again, don't push through any pain through any of the exercise that we're doing today. So knee pain, hip, back, neck, don't push through it. I'll give you a modification as we go. And if I didn't and you're feeling pain, then skip that one until we get to the next part. Or you can always go back to the previous exercise that we were doing, as I'm doing a progression as we're going. So we're going to bend the knees just a little bit. So I just have a little bend. You're going to take one leg. Let's take your right leg, and you're going to just straighten it in front. So here, I just straightened it in front. So we're bent, and I'm just going straight. Now the hips did not move. I did not follow it. So hips did not move, and then we're going to bring it in. Then we're going to go to this side. Again, hips not moving. Out and in. To the back and in. Same thing on the left side. So as you engage, you're going to the front and center, to the side, center, back, abs are engaged. I'm not shifting here, the hips are not moving, back, center. Okay, so I'm going to do it with the legs staying up this time. So I'm not going to retouch, I'm going to bring it back to center, but I'm not going to touch the floor. So it's going to go up nice and tall from your hips, finding your balance on your left leg, straightening the right in front. bring it back, side, center, and to the back and center. Remember, you can do the previous exercise, so feel free to touch every time. Thinking up nice and tall, left leg, front, center, side, center, as you engage, to the back, center. Let's touch to reset and relax. We're going to lift the heel up this time. So thinking up nice and tall, balancing on your left leg. You're going to straighten, again, just straightening your the right leg behind you. You're going to flex that foot. Then I want you to lift the heel up, bringing your upper body towards the floor. Focus on that heel going up, bringing it back down, touch to reset. Again, straightening, press the heel up, press, 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 and center. I'm going to add the breathing to this, so breathing in. As you're moving, breathe out, pelvic floor in, straightening that leg, pressing it back, and bring it in. Relax, shake it out. We're going to do the other leg, so up nice and tall, straighten your left behind, flexing your foot, pressing that heel up, go to where it wants to this morning. If you're losing your balance as you're going up, just bring it back down, up nice and tall, breathe in, breathe out, pelvic floor in, press that heel up, and let's bring it back down, and up nice and tall. One more time, breathe in, breathe out, press that heel up. So you want a nice straight line from your heel to the top of your head, and let's bring it back and relax. All right, we're going to go to the floor for the next part and until the end. So if you have a yoga mat, you can make sure that you're nice and comfortable on the floor. Just to make sure that you can see. I'll just adjust my screen so you can see the floor a little bit better as we're going through it. Okay, I'm going to go this way. My notes are on the wall. So we're going to be just sitting on the floor at first. Your legs are going to be in front. You're going to warm up the spine. So just remember, when we're warming up the spine and rolling down, I don't want your spine to pop out. I want your entire back to roll. So the difference is the spine popping out or both sides. It's kind of a slight, just pretty hard to see, but you'll feel that on the floor when we're rolling down. So first we're going to start with little rolls sitting up. And you're going to think from your hips pulling up nice and tall. And then you're going to relax. You're going to roll both sides of your back slightly down. And then pulling up. Now here, relax the shoulders. Pull up nice and tall, kind of like you're trying to pull out of your hips. And then bringing it back down. Relax. We're going to go a little bit lower. And then you're going to come back up. Going a little taller. And then bringing it down. And again, you're going to go maybe a little bit further, maybe not. And roll it up. This time we're going to roll all the way down. So if you need a little extra assistance here, you can put your hands on the floor and then your elbows to roll down. Or you can just roll down gently, nice and controlled. And then we're going to bring our heels towards the bum. Perfect. So here we're going to do some bridges. I like the bridges because they very helpful to help work the glutes and engage the core by engaging the pelvic floor here. And it's nice and safe. So I want you to have your weight in the shoulder, so your upper back. I don't want your weight pressing into the back of your head. And I'm just going to switch side because the sun is beautiful today, but it's coming straight into my face. So I'll put it on my feet. Okay. So shoulder blades in their little pocket. So I want your spine protected on the floor. Knees are bent. And then here, we're going to bring the heels as close as we can to the bum. So while being comfortable. So I don't want this to feel all squished up. You're going to be comfortable, but as close as you can. Your feet are going to be the width of your hip bones. And you're going to place your back in that neutral position. So you should have a little space underneath your back here, but you're comfortable. There's no pinching in the back. You're going to take a deep breath in here, and as you're exhaling, you're going to think about the pelvic floor picking up the blueberries. So I want you to pull that pelvic floor in towards the center as you're exhaling, and then inhale, relax. Exhale, pelvic floor, and you're going to press into those heels, rolling the hips off the floor gently as you're drawing in that pelvic floor. Inhaling down. And exhale, start by engaging the pelvic floor, then push into the heels, squeeze the glutes coming up. So you should not feel it very much in your hamstring, a little bit, but mostly pelvic floor, glutes. And the pelvic floor, when you're engaging it, it's going to help you engage the abs here. So you should feel a little engagement going on here. And let's bring it down. We'll do a couple more here. Breathing out, pelvic floor in, lifting, pressing into the heel, coming up, and you're going to go up maximum of tabletop. If I go too high, then I have an extra curve here. That is not what I'm looking for, because that causes pinching into the back. One more time, exhale, pelvic floor in, lifting up. Good, and then lower. So for our next exercise, we're going to move up to the upper body, and you're going to keep your shoulder blades in their little pocket, and you're going to bring your arms up. Now, depending on your shoulder mobility, the arms are going to move back towards behind your head, and they will go to wherever they go, depending again on that shoulder mobility. So I'm looking for, I can't see you unfortunately, but I want those halves to stay here. So I'm going to do it with one arm. I'm going to inhale on the exhale, pelvic floor in. You're going to slowly bring the arms back, and you're keeping those abs in and that chest in because it wants to do this. So keep it in and then bring it up. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking with my hands here and go with both hands, shoulder blades in the little pocket. Inhale on the exhale. Think about that pelvic floor in to keep this engaged. Extend those arms behind you to where they go, without that chest popping up or your abs popping up. And no pain in your shoulders. Inhale up. And exhale, pelvic floor in, extending those arms. Now I want you to reach from under your arms. So I'm not reaching with my shoulders. So my shoulders are not coming up next to my ears. They're staying in their little pocket. Exhale, extending those arms. And inhale up. We're going to do two more like this. Extend. And in. Perfect. Was that two? Okay. There's this t-shirt that says that you can't count as an instructor, so maybe that's proof. All right, so we're going to go into a little knee drop. So here, you're going to keep your hips into the ground. So as you're dropping the knee, this other leg wants to compensate by dropping to the other side. I want you to keep it nice and straight in place. So you're going to inhale, and then and exhale. On the next inhale, you're going to drop your one knee out to the side, and you're going to exhale, pelvic floor in, knee up. Let's do the other side. Inhale, knee down. This one is not moving here. Exhale, bringing it back up. Just a little hip warm up. Inhale, and exhale. Pelvic floor in. And inhale, and exhale, pelvic floor in. Let's do one more per side. Abs are nice and engaged. You're just dropping that leg, that knee out, and then pulling it in, pelvic floor in. One more time. Perfect. We're going to go into a bridge with a leg circle. So you're going to bring those heels in. Your back is in neutral. Your weight is in your shoulders. You're going to inhale. On the next exhale, let's lift the hips up. Now your knees are in line with your hips. If they're a little too wide for the next exercise, it's going to be really hard to balance. So bring them, just walk them in a little closer if you know that you're wider than your hips. You can have your hands here, although do not rely on them, or just hands here resting on your belly. We're going to inhale. On the next exhale, you're going to lift your right leg up. And then you can keep the knee bent or straighten that leg. You're going to flex that foot. You're going to gently bring it down. And then here, bring it in. Extend. Exhale. Pelvic floor in. Inhale. One more. Good. And let's put that leg down. Now you can stay here. You can take a little break if you want, dropping those hips while I talk about the next slide. So shoulder blades in the little pocket. You're not putting weight on your head. It's all in the upper back. We're going to inhale on the next exhale. If you're on the floor, come on up. We're going to inhale again. On your next exhale, pelvic floor in, lift your left knee up. Straighten out that leg. Flex the foot, lower. Inhale. Straighten. Flex. Exhale, pelvic floor in. And inhale. Straighten. Flex. Exhale, pelvic floor in. And inhale. And let's put that foot down and lower. So here we're going to put our back into neutral. So your whole core, your whole trunk here should be in a neutral position. We're going to extend the legs. So you're just going to slide the legs out. And you're going to place your legs underneath your hip bone. So sometimes my feet fall out. So I want you to be nice and aligned. Legs in line with your hip bones. Ankles in line with your hip bones. That back in neutral. Now if you're feeling pressure into your low back here because it wants to lift, by all means bring those knees back up. Okay, so as we're going into the next exercise, we're going to do that arm extension behind our head. So if you're feeling it into your back, bend the knees. So arms up, and you're going to place those shoulder blades in the little pockets. Again, no pressure in the back of your head. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, pelvic floor in. You're going to extend those arms behind you. Now watch for your abs. I don't want that belly to pop up or the chest. And then inhale up. And exhale, pelvic floor in. You should feel those abs engage a little bit. Then you're working in the upper part as well as you're extending your arms. One more time. Exhale as you're extending behind you. And inhale. Good. And relax. Let's bring the legs up. You're going to inhale on the next exhale. You're going to lift one knee up into tabletop. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Other side, knee up into tabletop. Now here, if you're feeling a little too much into your back, just keep one leg down. We're going to hold it here for a little bit. So make sure that you're not pushing into the back of your head. Your back is into that neutral position. And we're going to have our hands by each side. I want you to pump the arms gently. You're going to breathe in. 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. Pelvic floor in. Breathing in. So a nice slow breath. Breathing out. Pelvic floor in. So you can go a little faster with your hands if you want. Now, we're going to extend the legs. I'm going to start by extending one leg. You can always come back into this position. You're going to keep breathing in and breathing out, thinking about that pelvic floor. I'm going to extend the leg. I'm going to hold it, breathing in, breathing out, pelvic floor in. Let's do one more breath here. Breathing out, pelvic floor in. Good. And breathe in. Extend the other leg. Good, and breathe in and out, pelvic floor in. One more time here and out. Now you can bring the knees in. We're going to lift the upper body. So keep breathing, keep moving your arms. I'm going to ask you to lengthen your core, lengthen from the spine, and then lifting up. Breathing in and out, pelvic floor in. So I'm going to go again with the leg extension. Feel free to come back to the bent knee whenever you need to. So I'm going to extend. If it's too much for your neck to have your head up, you can hold your neck with one hand, but still working on your core. Make sure that every time, if you're losing that pelvic floor engagement, When you're breathing out, come back to the previous modification. Good, let's switch leg. And keep breathing in and out. Pelvic floor in. Good. So you can keep alternating here, or we can extend both legs just for a few breaths. So if you're alternating, do 2 breaths per side. Make sure that you're maintaining that engagement of that pelvic floor when you're breathing out here. And bringing in, and relax, move the hips around, relax your neck, and relax your shoulders. Okay, we're gonna go onto our side. So a side plank. So here, if you have any shoulder issue, when we're doing this, the the plank with the reach under, there's no modification here. You have to be on your arm. But when we're something else. Never mind. So we're not going to be very long on our side. So you can have the side plank. You can do it with your knees bent. Like to extend the upper leg even in a modified position so that your knees are in line. So I don't want that knee up here when you're lifting up. Your legs are going to be in line, and then you're going to bend that lower leg. Shoulder is right underneath, on top of your elbow, and your forearm is on the floor. You're not just putting pressure on that elbow, you're using that forearm and your hand as well. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift up. So we're going to start here. We're going to bring that top arm up. I want you to open up the chest, but you're not falling back here. So you're just reaching up a little bit behind you, and then you're going to bring it in and go under to where you can. And you're going to inhale and exhale, reaching under. Now if that's comfortable for you, we're going to stay up here, and you're going to come up into a full plank. So you can stagger it for this one, and let's exhale, going under, and inhale up, and exhale, going under, and one more time. Good, and that's lower. Perfect. We're going to go all the way on the floor. So here you can be on the floor. If you're feeling that that's a little uncomfortable, you can use a cushion or just to rest your head on, or a yoga block. We're going to bend the knees at about 45. Your heels are going to be together, and they're going to be in line with your tailbone. So here, I want you to think about that nice straight line from the top of your head to your heels. I'm not stuck onto myself. Nice long line. We're going to inhale. On the next exhale, pelvic floor and lifting that knee up and lower. And lifting the knee up. And inhale as you lower. And pelvic floor, and remember that. Good. Then we're going to bring the knees up. So this one is a little bit harder than the clam. So if you're having a hard time with the pelvic floor cue, go back to the clam. We're going to bring, so you're going to look like a chair here, nice straight line, legs at 90 degrees. We're going to breathe in. On your exhale, lifting that knee up. Now if you have a mirror in front of you, it's a great time to have a look at your leg. Is it like this or like this? So try to have it in line at a nice 90 degree, but the knee is leading and the leg is following. It's not going one way or the other. We're going to inhale down, exhale up, pelvic floor in. Now remember to pick up the blueberries. So breathing in as you lower, and exhale, pelvic floor in, and inhale as you lower. We're going to do 2 more here. Exhale up. So here your core is working, and we're going to make it work a little bit harder after. To maintain that nice straight line. And every time you're breathing out, pelvic floor in, it's working on the muscles that are helping to stabilize your hip. So we're going to inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to lift that leg up halfway and we're going to keep it there. We're going to inhale. On the next exhale, you're going to extend the leg. Good. You're going to inhale, bring it in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale out. Little stretch behind here. This is starting to work a little bit more. I still want you to focus a lot on that breathing. So breathing out, pelvic floor in, right? So we're going to extend as we're breathing out, pelvic floor in. We're going to stay here. You're going to keep that leg extended. You're going to breathe in. On the exhale, you're going to lift the leg up, pelvic floor in, bringing it that down. Feel free to go back to the previous exercise as needed. Pelvic floor in as you exhale. One more. And let's bend that knee and lower. Perfect. We are going to go into push-ups. So your push-ups, we're doing only a few, and do what you can, however many you can, and we're just going to work up on that. So you're going to use your whole hand. Do not have your weight just on this part. You're going to use your whole hand and your finger, and your elbows are going to be touching your sides. So whenever I'm going down here, I'm going to look like this and not like this. Okay, so we want those elbows touching the side of your body as you're coming down. You're going to do those modified. If you want to, you can go all the way to your feet. And so we're going to be just here, hands underneath your shoulders. And we're going to go into a plank position on the knees. Okay, so we're into a nice plank. Again, you can curl your toes under here, go into a full plank. Your elbows are coming towards you, so you're going to bring it down as you're inhaling. Exhale, coming up. You're going to think about that pelvic floor in. So you're going to inhale, coming down. Pelvic floor in, coming up. You're going to go at the depth that you can. So inhaling down, if that's to here before it wants to let go, that's okay. Pressing up. Bringing it down. One more. You do what you can, keeping those shoulders right over your wrist. Okay, and let's bring it back. A little stretch here. We're going to work on your upper back. So we're going to go on our belly. And you're going to align your legs with your hips. Hands are just on each side here. And you're going to relax your shoulders. Then you're going to imagine a string from the top of your head lengthening to the front and then lifting up. Try not using your hands too much, pushing into the ground. You're going to use the back leg. You're going to lengthen those legs. I want you to lift to where you can and then relax, bring it down. So you're going to exhale, lengthen, pelvic floor in, lengthen, 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 lift to where you can, and inhale and relax. And exhale, lengthen and lift, pelvic floor in, lift, 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 lift. No pressure into the low back here. I want you to lengthen that spine. And relax. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, lengthen, 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 lifting up that back. And inhale, relax. One more time. Again, you're not really using your hands on the floor. You're lengthening, exhaling. And relax. Okay, and let's push back into child pose. Relax your back for a second. And we're going to go onto the other side. So here, we're going to go back to that side plank. Your elbow is right underneath your shoulder, legs in line with your shoulder, and then you're going to bend that lower leg for that first one. Make sure your elbow is right underneath that shoulder. We're going to inhale on the exhale. Let's lift the hip up, and let's bring that hand up. We're going to inhale on the exhale. You're going to bring it down, pelvic floor in. And exhale up. Inhale up. And exhale, pelvic floor in. and inhale up. Now here, you can go full, your legs stacked, modified, still, and let's breathe out. And inhale up, opening up that chest, and exhale. You're gonna go to where you can here, looking at your hand. One more time. And release. Good. So the nice thing with the Pilates, if there's something you really do not like, don't spend too much time on it. So legs at 45 degrees. Yeah. Heels are together and in line with your tailbone, so they're not too far here. You're a nice straight line from the top of your head through your spine, hips, and heels. We're gonna inhale, clap this hand up here. On the exhale, pelvic floor in, lifting that leg up. As needed, you can have your fingers on the floor. Inhale, knee down, and exhale, pelvic floor in. And you're lifting to only where you can without moving the head. Exhaling up. And inhaling. Good, let's bring those legs up 90 degrees. So the same thing here, we want that top leg to follow the knee, not lag behind or lead the way. So we're gonna inhale, on the exhale, we're gonna lift up, pelvic floor in. And inhaling down. So here, if I would lift too high, then my hip, if I go higher than this, my hip starts to fall. So that's not the goal. I wanna work within that range without moving the hip back. Exhaling up. And inhale. We're gonna go up halfway. And then we're gonna inhale, on the exhale, you're gonna extend the leg. If it doesn't extend all the way, that's okay. Go to where you can. Inhale, bring it in. So now we want to keep this in mind. As we're extending the leg, pelvic floor in, we don't want that leg to drop or lift. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to leave the leg there. Good. You're going to inhale here in place. On the next exhale, pelvic floor in as you're lifting that leg. Again, this is not moving here. Inhale down. And exhale up. You can bring the leg as far down as you want, just not touching the floor and not moving the hip. So as long as that hip is not moving and you're still focusing on your breathing. Good, one more, exhale up. And let's bend that knee. Good. So nice little warm up here for the side of the hip. We've got one more set of push-ups and one more set of that upper back. So we're going to go on our hands and knees. So here again, you can go modified or full. And I went up to 5. If you can do 2, 3, 1, do what you can. Rest your wrist and then try another one if it works. So hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to rotate to help with your elbows. You can rotate a little bit your hands out like this, so your pinkies are out a little bit. That way your elbows are going to track a little bit closer to your body. And on the knees, nice straight core. So here I want you to squeeze your glutes a little bit. We don't want any lower back to lower to the ground. So straight. If you want, you can bring it up to that full plank. You're going to inhale as you're lowering to where you can. Pelvic floor in. And inhale down. Again, you're going to the depth that you can. Halfway, all the way down. We're not leading with the nose, so nice straight body going down. Nice straight body coming up. One more time. If your back starts to cave in, put your knees on the ground and then up. Good. And let's bring it back, relax. And we're going to go on our belly. I'm going to add a little bit to this one here. So we want a nice long spine here. Again, no pressure into the low back. So I'm going to ask you to lengthen. Hands are on the floor. We're going to gently press up and lengthen the spine, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I want you to lengthen those legs, squeezing the glutes. Leave the hands off the floor, and then lengthen those arms in front, gently. So the weight of your arms is going to add a little bit more pressure to the upper back, and so they have to work a little bit harder. And so let's inhale. On the next exhale, lengthen and lift. Lengthen those legs, lift those hands, draw that circle. So the further your hands are going, the harder it's going to be to hold it there. And relax. And exhale up. Now here, because we're holding it, I want you to breathe through the whole thing, right? So we're going to move around, but I want you to breathe here. Don't hold your breath. When you're thinking breathing out, think about that pelvic floor. And then relax, lower. Good, 2 more times. Let's lengthen as you're exhaling. Pelvic floor in to help you at first. Lengthen those legs, then breathe normally. Every time you're exhaling, bring that pelvic floor in. But think about the breathing. Good, and lower. No pressure into that low back. We've got 1 more. Lengthen the core, lengthen your neck, so don't squish it. Lengthen, 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 lift. Lengthen those legs, and then reaching out with those arms. And breathing in. And let's press back into child pose. Good. And we're going to go on our back. We've been going, pretty good. All right, so we're going to go on our back. And I got 2 more exercises before we do a little cool down. Okay, so we're going to be with your legs in front, and you're going to roll down. So if you want here, you can follow me in that roll down, or you can just meet me on the floor on your back. So we're going to have our hands here. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, I want you to think about the muscles on each side of your back, hands by your side, and then nice control roll down, following with your eyes on the wall in front, and then release. Let's place your back into that neutral position, bringing your legs in. We're going to inhale. On the next exhale, you're going to lift one leg up. You're going to go into a nice stable tuck. On the next exhale, lifting the other leg up, making sure that those abs are not lifting, pelvic floor in. Good, so now I'm going to alternate toe taps. So if you need here, if you're finding that this is too hard on your neck, you can put a pillow, or you can just support your head. Sometimes for some people that flat on the back position is not very comfortable. So we're going to inhale, and then exhale, put one foot, just the toes touching the ground, and switch. So I'm going to pick one leg. Whenever it comes in, I'm going to inhale. So I'll pick my right leg. Knee in, inhale. Right knee out, exhale, pelvic floor in. Inhale, because the whole thing is hard here, so we're moving both legs. Exhale, pelvic floor in. So I'm just going to focus on one. So here, if you want, you can slowly keep moving with your breathing. Pelvic floor in. Every time that leg goes out and you're breathing out, pelvic floor is engaging. Now I'm going to lengthen my spine at the same time. I'm going to lift my upper body. I'm not looking at my feet. I'm looking at the upper corner of the room here. Because if I look at my feet, this happens. I'm squishing everything. I'm looking at the upper corner, so I'm lengthening the spine, moving, working the upper core here. Keep that breathing. If you lost that pelvic floor in when you're breathing out, lower your head. You can have that pillow here for a little support. I'm not resting my head on it. It's just a little support for my neck if you have any issue with your neck. Good. We're going to bring everything in and relax. So the next one is a progression on this. So I'm going to add my legs extending fully. And then I'm going to lift the upper body. So at any time, feel free to come back to this one with your knees back and just the toes alternating touching the floor, okay? So we're gonna start with your right knee in, your left leg out, and then switch, and switch. So I'm gonna breathe out because we're, again, moving nice and slow. So breathing in, breathing out. My right knee's coming in, I'm breathing in. Right knee's coming out, I'm breathing out. Pelvic floor in though, okay? I'm gonna again lift the upper body, but you're gonna start lengthening first and then lifting, and you're gonna lift your shoulder blades off the ground, looking at the upper corner of the room, not at your toes, because we don't want the whole upper part to be all squished. No straining on the neck, looking up nice and tall. Pelvic floor in every time you're breathing out. So you can stay here, or you can bring it back to the floor, or you can keep both legs long. We're just going to do a few here. Again, feel free to go back to that bent knees. My foot is pointed, but my toes are not cramped. You can add a little pull here, little stretch behind the leg. You can touch that long leg on the floor, little stretch on the floor. One more per side. And let's bring it in and relax. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Let's put the feet down and place your shoulder blades in a little pocket. Feel free to close your eyes here. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. So then the next time, we're gonna breathe in. At the same time, I want you to tense your fist, your feet into the ground, your glutes, your abs, your shoulders, and I want you to just let it go as you exhale and relax. Let's do that one more time so you can have your knees bent or your legs on the floor, and you're gonna tense your whole body. Tensing, 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 shoulders as well, and exhale, and just relax everything. Good, and we're gonna come up into a sitting position however you like, so you can roll off to your side and just come on up, because all the hard work is done for today here. You're gonna have your legs in front here, feet together, grabbing your ankles, and just moving around a little bit. Good. Let's stretch out the front of our legs. You're gonna grab one leg and bring it behind this leg a little closer, and you're just gonna move around, relaxing your hip here. Good. And then this hand wherever you need to, so that you're not feeling any pressure into your low back. Little engagement of your abs. So think of somebody holding your belly here, so you're not caving into your back. Lift that knee up, squeeze the glute forward as you're gently pulling the leg back. So I'm not moving very far. I get a nice little stretch here. Release. One more time. Good, and let's switch. So just relax first. Good, and let's grab that back leg and lifting off the floor, gently pushing the glute forward as you're pulling the leg back a little bit. And release. And one more time. And release. Let's bring it in. And sitting however you like. Relax in your shoulders. We're going to do just that little rotation with our arms, so hands towards me. Let's bring them back a little bit, little rotation inside the hip joint, the shoulder joint, and here your back has a little curve. And you're going to sweep those arms gently forward, and we're going to stay here. You're going to relax your shoulders. I want you to pull out of your hips, press the abs back, reach gently forward here, and gently with the other. Good, and then bring your arms up gently to where they go. Open up and send your elbows back. Good, and let's lower the arms, moving the shoulders. I'm going to relax the neck, but first we're going to lengthen it. So you're going to think about your neck pulling up nice and tall. You're going to look at the ceiling without squishing the back of your neck, so you just want to lengthen. Bring it back to center, lengthen the back, looking down. Nice little stretch here. Think about the muscles below your neck, pulling the spine down. And then bring it back to center. Let's lengthen the neck, looking over your right shoulder to where it's comfortable. And then maybe a little further, maybe not. Let's come back to center, lengthen, looking over your left shoulder. Maybe further, maybe not. And back to center and relax completely. Drop your chin towards your chest, give me a gentle roll towards one side, back to center, gentle roll to the other side, and back to center and up. And thank you for spending some time this morning with me. So I'm going to try to do one on Tuesday at 10 and then the eccentric on Thursday at 10. So I'll try to maintain that throughout the weeks. And then the ones that I do on the Tuesday, because I don't have any restrictions for those, so I leave those posted on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, so you can go back to them at any time. And I make them all a little different, so then if you want to do more than the one workout during the week, then you can go and do the pace tomorrow, for example. And so I'll keep alternating like that. So next week on Tuesday, it's going to be a little bit more intense workout, or just different, because we're going to have some cardio in it. So more like an interval training. I'm not sure pace, but you can send me your votes in the Facebook Messenger. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you again for joining me this morning.